Hi there, friends. Welcome to another episode of Listen at Lunch. My name is Carrie Blake. I so miss you in person, but I'm blessed to join you live. I've been, during COVID, I've been back in touch with a lot of you that aren't local to me that I've really missed out on my in-person. So before I was strictly in-person and I was missing you, those that aren't local, and now that COVID's hit and we really couldn't get together, needless to say, I have really enjoyed being able to reconnect with you and have you join me on Zoom classes, and that's the next best thing. So we're doing what we can, and I'm coming to you live to show you a wonderful project. It's one of the cards that I made in my All Occasions card class, which I hold on the last Wednesday of every month. We make 6 cards, 2 each of 2 different designs. So last Friday, I showed you one of the cards that we made using the Beautiful Autumn. And today I'm going to show you a card we're focusing on Forever Fern. And this is a really pretty stamp set. These are distinctive stamps. So the image that you see has great detail in the leaves and the little, I'm not sure what these are, berries. And there are so many colors that you could use to create some beautiful designs with this stamp set. So I'm going to show you one of the cards that we made at my September All Occasions card class. Also, while I have it here, these are the dies that coordinate with the Forever Fern that you can purchase as a bundle. It's certainly a value at 10% off when you purchase them together at the bundle price, rather than saying, "Ooh, I love that stamp set," and then deciding later on, "Ooh, I should have gotten the Forever Flourishing dies too." So think about that. It is a beautiful stamp set. Okay, we'll get going. We're going to be doing some sponging today. The pieces that I'm going to be using, and this is how I package my classes. You get 2 prepped packages of the supplies for each card, and I pop them right in the envelope. And I've got one here for you. And our envelopes are super quality as well, so you love coming to card class here because you get the great quality envelopes. All right, I do tie bows for you. I can't tell you how many times my customers have remarked, "Oh, I'm so glad you tied a bow for me because I really stink at it." Oh, I'm getting pretty good at it. So I do tie your bows for you so that you don't have to worry about that. That's the bow we're going to be using. Here's our card base. This is very vanilla. It is a hamburger fold. It's 8.5 by 5.5. So we'll just go ahead and take our bone folder and give that a crisp fold and set that aside. I have a mat of early espresso, and then we're going to be stamping on our very vanilla cardstock here. Now, I'm going to move this out of the way because I do not want to get any sponge. I created a little template. I just took the backing of the Designer Series paper and I pretty much tore out a section so that I can sponge just in that area, and you can see it's well loved. Super easy, so you just want to hold that down. Let's see, how far down do I want to go? I want to go right about there. And I have scrap paper underneath because with the sponging, of course, you're going to get messy all around. You're going to get messy on your fingers too, so it's good to have some cleaning your Simply Chamois handy because you'll want to wipe your fingers on that. And then also you're going to want to wipe your fingers, excuse me, you're going to want to wipe your fingers on a cloth afterwards too, which I don't believe I have. Oh, I have some Kleenex. That'll work. All right. Great, I'll grab that later. Okay, so I've taken a piece of our sponge, and I'm using the crushed curry, I believe. No, I'm using Bumblebee. I'm sorry, one of the in colors. I'm using Bumblebee. And I've taken one of our sponges and cut it into a wedge. Usually I have the little matching cardstock stapled to the end so you don't get ink all over your fingers, but I haven't done that yet for the in colors. You're just going to take that sponge, which was cut into a wedge. It comes in a circle sponge. You get 3 for $4. I cut it into a wedge, and I'm using this to sponge onto my cardstock here. And I'm just going to make sure it's kind of even. You can see a little bit of the cardstock. Now what I'm going to do is, because the first round, when you sponge this, you tap it on your ink pad, because it's going to be super juicy, I'm going to start off the cardstock, because you can see, and I'm going to do swirls, because otherwise you'd get a big blob of bright color, and we don't want that. So I started off my template here, and I'm sponging all around. And you know, it's okay that you have these pretty little streaks, because once you see this sponged so nicely, you're going to realize it doesn't matter. So there, I pretty much have sponged it, and I like that it's not even. It's not a straight cut. So we're going to get some, you know, tearing. It's going to look like tearing on your cardstock. Isn't that pretty? I think it's really pretty. Could have gone up a little bit, but that's okay. All right, so we're going to set that aside. Make sure your fingers are not, let's close this up. And I'm going to pull out my Simply Chamois and kind of wipe my fingers on my Simply Chamois, because I do have ink on them. And I don't want to get ink on my piece. So this will take the ink pretty much off. Then you can rub them on the paper, or you can have a paper towel or a soft cloth, so that you don't get any more on your cardstock. All right. And set those aside. Next, I'm going to do some stamping. I've chosen Early Espresso to stamp over the top. And I've got this pretty leaf image on Clear Block C. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Now, you don't necessarily need your scrap paper underneath anymore, and these are red rubber, so they have the foam pad, so you don't need your Stampin' Pierce mat, because they're not photopolymer. And I'm just going to stamp these sporadically. Onto my sponged piece. Oh, I missed. But you know what? My ribbon's going to cover that, so that's okay. All right, got those. Next, I'm going to take the little splatter from the Forever Fern, which is great to fill in pieces, and I'm going to just go ahead and splatter the splatter around. This is really pretty. And again, this splatter gives you room for covering up. It just adds. I'm going to put some up here too. Let's see. I guess I do need my scrap because I've just stamped off. So I did need my scrap. I'm going to fill that in there too. Okay, that looks really good. So let's clean those off. Next, we're going to stamp a sentiment, which I chose You Can Do This, which is also included in the Forever Fern stamp set. It is red rubber, so you can't really see through. So what I'm going to do to make sure that I've stamped this well is I'm going to come down on my scrap paper. Look at, I've mounted my sticker crooked too. That's not good. So I like to take the edge of my scrap paper and line up the edge of my block and then stamp it on my scrap sheet just to see, have I done it even? Do I need to make an adjustment before I stamp it on my card? And it looks pretty straight there. Can't find my special glasses today, so I'm winging it. Alright, so I'm going to ink that up nicely, tapping gently because it's a super juicy pad. And I'm going to come over here. And I can't really see because I'm going to move it down. There we go, now I can see. I'm going to line up again. I think that's pretty straight. And stamp it. Voila. Ooh, that's very pretty. Alright. Next we're going to add one more thing. We're going to run this through our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, which I lovingly call SEMA. And we're going to add some texture to this. This is lovely just as it is, but watch what happens. I'm going to go off screen and I'm going to run this through the embossing folder because it's pretty chunky to do it right here. Well, I guess I could do it right here. I'm going to do it right here. You're not going to be able to see very much, but the subtle embossing folder is gorgeous and I absolutely love it. So I'm going to pop my embossing folder, I'm going to pop my cardstock into my embossing folder and kind of line it up to make sure. Well, when you see the Stampin' Up logo, that's the right side up. I'm going to make sure that's kind of even, which it is. And then I'm going to put the spine first into my plate here. And because this is one of our older folders, embossing folders, I'm just using the platform and one clear plate. And I'm going to run this through. Listen how quiet that was. I didn't really hear any cracks or didn't really give me grief about running it through. I didn't have to tell it I was the boss. Okay, now we'll set this off. And now we have this beautiful embossed stamped image. It's just gorgeous. It just adds so much. So embossing folders are the bomb diggity. Okay, next I'm going to take our Stampin' Seal. Give it a go. Look how wonderful it's behaving today with me. Oh, see? Right when I say that. Oh, because I'm at the end. Oh, what do you know? All right. Well, and I don't have a refill with me, so I'm going to have to go with the Stampin' Seal Plus, which is just about at the end too, because you can start seeing the red. See the red on this one? That warns you that you're just about up. So here's the red on this, but I think I can still get away with making this card without having an issue. Maybe you can see the difference. So there's not a whole lot of difference, except that the Stampin' Seal Plus is a little bit darker, or excuse me, a little bit thicker. And you can definitely see the little sections on the Stampin' Seal Plus. They are also on the Stampin' Seal, which is the regular adhesive, but they're not as noticeable because they're not as thick as the Stampin' Seal Plus. So I'm going to mount this. Got my adhesive on here, and I'm going to go ahead and mount this onto my cardstock, my early espresso mat. And the next thing I'm going to do is I want to add my ribbon before I put this on my card base. So I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to run my Stampin' Seal, because it's a little bit thicker, and it's going to hold my ribbon in place. And I want to put it there because I'm going to wrap my ribbon around before I and tuck it in before I add this to my card base. And I got a little bit, I go a little bit off. So I need to run this further inside. Okay, and let's just put a little piece here for good measure. All right, so see where I put the adhesive here for sure, so that I can take my ribbon and come over here and I can cover up that little boo-boo, that little missing leaf portion, and then I can tuck my ribbon right on top of the Stampin' Seal, the adhesive, and keep it locked into place. Okay, and then I can pull my card base out and go ahead and attach it to my card base. Voila. That's for you, Cindy. Ooh, and I just about messed up my bow here, so let's see if I can get that back. Nope, I can't, so I'll just do another one. Voila. Pull that tight. And that's really pretty. I think we'll cut off just a little bit of this tail so they're kind of even. It's spread out. Ooh, I forgot to tell you about this ribbon. This ribbon is really pretty ribbon. It comes in a combo pack. And do I have it here? No, but it is part of the suite for the Forever Fern. You get this gold cord ribbon, which is beautiful. And you also get this, it's like a Aida cloth if you've ever cross-stitched or needlepoint. This is a real soft linen Aida cloth. It's very pretty. All right, so you think we're done? No, because at my class, we also decided to add some gold gilded gems, which are so pretty. So let's go ahead and add 3 because an odd number is the way to go. I'm gonna put, let's see, 1 here. One there, and 1 more, because gotta have 3. Let's put it over here. I think over here is good. Now our card is complete. So you just saw that didn't take very long to make this card up, because when you come to my class, you have all the supplies prepped and ready. So basically all you did was stamp and run it through the subtle embossing folder and then put it all together. Isn't that pretty? I think it's very pretty. And I feel horrible because I absolutely cased this from another demonstrator, and I looked everywhere to find the information on who the originator of this card was, and I could not find it. So I apologize to whoever did this. That is not my intent to steal other people's work. I am always, not always, but I am usually casing other people's work. So I really wish I could give credit where credit due. If I find out, I will definitely post it. Okay, so I want to give you 3 more samples of Forever Fern so that you can see a variety of cards made with this stamp set. And this particular one is made by Chelly Pratt. And this is really pretty, and she also used the linen thread and used a different sentiment, to a friend that makes me smile, which is included. And this is beautiful too, because she just cut this out with her die cut. She didn't stamp it first. She just used her die cut and cut it out with old olive and added it on. And then she stamped, without re-inking, she stamped a few of these images. So that's a really pretty card too. Let's see. Next one is done by Kathy Daw, and this is really pretty. She used the Forever Fern, I think it's Forever Greenery designer series paper and some rhinestones. And here she stamped one of the leaves and then cut it out, and then she just cut out with cardstock. I believe that is Pear Pizzazz, and this is Old Olive. And it's a beautiful fun fold card. That's really pretty too. And the last one I'm going to show you is done by Heather Brecken. And I just love these. Again, you know, you've heard me say this before. These are really not my colors. I'm not a big red, orange, burgundy fan, but these colors put together are so beautiful. So this is another gorgeous card. So there you have it. We have beautiful cards made with the Forever Fern. And I hope you enjoyed this today. I am looking forward to crafting with you again. My all occasion card classes are the last Wednesday of each month. I have Christmas card classes, which are the third Tuesday of each month. And the same format, we make 6 cards to each of 3 different designs, so you get an idea. I have a customer who does not mail out her cards. She says they're so pretty that she doesn't mail them. And so that quite a few years ago, I switched from, you know, making 1 card of each design to 2 cards, so that if you wanted to keep one because it was so pretty, at least you had the second one that you could mail out to somebody. So now my classes are 2 each of the designs, so that you will mail out and spread sunshine to someone's day. So those are both in person, and you can also order the carryout kits to go. I am also November 1st, I believe it is, I am hosting an all-day retreat where we're going to make 6 projects, either 5 or 6 projects. You're going to get a goodie bag. I'm going to serve you lunch and packaged snacks during the day, and we are just going to sit and have fellowship together, making some beautiful crafts with the Trimming the Town Suite, which you'll be all ready for the winter season. And I'd love for you to join me on that. Registration is $75, and I also do carry out kits. So if you are not able to be here in person, I can mail your kit for a shipping fee depending on where you live. Or I can do porch pickup if you're not quite ready to attend an in-person class. Totally understandable. Just let me know and I will get that going. If you are not on my email list, please reach out to me so that I can add you, so that you have, you know, first notice of all the classes that I have going. I want to see you there. I want to craft with you because crafting is therapeutic and I just love it, and I know you do too. Well, thanks for joining me. I hope you have an awesome rest of your week. I'll be back on Friday. And until then, stay well and be blessed.